You are listening to the Mark Lesko Podcast, a podcast by diehard fans for fans. Mark covers all things Penn State football and the Pittsburgh Steelers, as well as anything related to the sports and fitness world. Tune in weekly to listen to a couple of dedicated fans talk about these topics without filters. Thank you for listening to the Mark Lesko Podcast.
What's up, mateys? Welcome to the Mark Lesko Podcast. I'm your host, J. Rod, and this is Pirate Central. Well, our first pitch topic, $110 million payroll. More like 110 reasons why free agents don't come to Pittsburgh. Folks, it's no secret that this organization has pretty much done everything it can to make pretty much everyone who is involved with baseball hate it. It's the truth. I mean, it's not just the fact that, the organization doesn't care to be competitive. We have an owner that doesn't spend money. Those are terrible reasons why any organization should exist. But the bottom line is we're talking about why a free agent would want to come here, even if they were paid a certain amount of money. Yeah, I understand that is a huge reason as to why baseball players love to get to play the sport, because they get paid very nicely. It's a very wonderful system in terms of those high payroll teams like the Yankees and the Mets and the Phillies, the Dodgers, of course. I mean, they're going to pay you nicely if you are a talented player. So I'd like to think that the reason why the Pirates have to up their payroll is because, again, I think they're finally getting pressure from the MLB to up their payroll. I mean, Paul Skeens just won Cy Young. He is the greatest pitcher to ever grace the Pirates. I mean, he's pretty much done that in the 2 years that he has been in the league. I mean, I love the guys like Doug Draback and, Kent Tecovey and all those great names of the past. But this dude is just on another level. He is absolutely putting himself up there with the pantheon of players like Sandy Koufax and Walter Johnson, and that's really what it's supposed to be. Like, if you're trying to say you're one of the best players in the league, he definitely can say that. So he got paid for it. And it's like, well, they get a bonus, or he gets a bonus, and the Pirates gave him a bonus. They didn't have to do that, but they knew he was worth every penny of what they gave him. So he got a little extra money. And you think to yourself, well, now the next step in the offseason is to start acquiring players. And they're saying that Ben Sherrington, the GM, was getting something from Bob Nutting that they're going to up the payroll as much as $110 million. And the last time we were over $100 million was when we were in contention, which was a decade. And yeah, we did have a guy like Paul Skeens, like with Garrett Cole, and we still had Cervelli, we still had Liriano, we still had Kutch and them. I mean, we still had a competitive team, but $110 million, I mean, you're talking about, I think they said they slashed the payroll between the free agency or the trade deadline last year and this offseason. I think they said they got rid of $30 million off their payroll. I think that's what I saw. And it went from 80 million to 50. So if they go to 110 million, that means they're going to add $60 million to their payroll this season. So, I mean, are they going to start paying their players that they have on the team a little better? I'm assuming that's what we're talking about. But realistically, this is not about trying to convince the people in the game that we're trying to, do something competitive. The next big step is convincing any player that would want to come here why. Because as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I don't know anything about Matt Haig, the hitting coach. I don't know anything about his past. I mean, you saw the results this year. It's historically some of the worst numbers that we could have pretty much put up with home runs, with RBIs. This is something that would very much concern me if I was a hitter saying, well, I'm a free agent. Where do I want to go? I mean, here are my options. I got Miami. I've got Yonkers State and Pittsburgh. I would think they know where they'll go. But like it's definitely one of the more concerning topics as to why they can't be competitive. Because even if they were to do so, like again, they're saying they want to up the payroll, but that also means that you have to rely on the fact that a player would want to take their contract, whatever they give them. Most likely it's going to be a 1 year, 8 million, 10 million tops. Like that's they can't go any more than that. That'd just be ludicrous for the Pirates. Like no one wants to do that. Nobody wants to have their careers or their livelihood on a 1 year deal. That is not showing a lot of respect, to be honest. I mean, in this league that we're in, I think that the fact that the 1 year deal exists is ridiculous. I think at minimum you do two. I think there's nothing wrong with going, well, you did 1 full year, you didn't really live up to the contract. Let's see if we can fix that. And if you can't do it after that, then yes, that person then is gone. So it's like, okay, what's wrong with a 2 year, $10 million deal? That's $5 million a year. And you at least give this guy the idea that he'll have some chance to show what he's got or have some sort of faith. Because again, doing a 1 year thing, that's not realistic in any way, shape, or form. And that's really what you have to deal with as a free agent who they say when it's the Pirates, like they talked about how they wanted to give Josh Naylor a 5 year deal worth $80 million, something like that. But the Mariners upped it to, well, I forget what that deal was, like $92 million. Like he took more money, but I'm saying they say he had been given a multi-year deal by the Pirates. But naturally, if there's another team out there that wants to spend more money, they're going to do that and they're going to take that player. Like that's just what it's all about, guys. There's no reason for this organization to make the announcement that they're going to up the payroll. I mean, to make it sound like, oh, everything's going to just be figured out and solved, and here we come to the playoffs. No, that's not how life works, folks. As much as we want to say putting a coat of paint, on a mud hill is going to make it look like a house. That's not how that works. That's really what they're trying to sell these the national media and the fans, apparently. But guys, we know better than that. I hope you do. The city of Pittsburgh is right now in one of the darkest times I have probably seen since I was, I want to say late 90s, because that was when you had concerns about, the Steelers, the Penguins were talking about leaving Pittsburgh, and the Pirates had been the Pirates for almost a decade up until that point. So it's been a long time since I've seen all three teams just look so lost, so all over the place. But the reliable thing is the Pirates don't give you any incentive year in and year out for years. Not even when they went to the playoffs in the wild card years did they ever say, oh, yeah, we're doing something spectacular. We're going to own everybody and everything. No, that's not what happened. We just got very lucky that the misfits that were, cast away from the other teams that we picked up, they all still had some baseball left in them. And we found it, and we had a great coach, in Clint Hurdle. I mean, a lot of great things happened. Ray Sturridge was our pitching coach, and I really do miss that dude. He was always getting those pitchers always ready to go, and it was fun to watch him. But now we're talking about getting a new pitching coach from the Astros when we replaced Oscar Marin, and Matt Haig had some of the worst offensive numbers for a hitting coach, and they didn't fire him. So here we're going into this offseason talking about, we need to get better players. But even if they come here, they don't have the coaching staff that's going to improve them. I don't really care what they think they have coming up, for them, or a plan going into the next season. I don't care if they say that. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's always about what they can say just to get people off their back. And then what they do is something completely different and nonsense. I mean, it's just always the case, guys. I don't really know what more to say about it. The organization has not done anything to show us that they're trying to build a winner or try to be competitive. The situation right now is they were talking about acquiring Kyle Schwarber. The name is being floated out there. I mean, that would be great, but you think a guy like Kyle Schwarber who can hit 40, 50 home runs a game is going to do a 1 year, dare I say, $12 million deal when he made what? I think he at one point was making like 25 million or maybe 30. I don't really know what his career has been for deals, but I'd like to think that the guy was getting in that much money just because he can always hit home runs. I know his strikeout rate and his average is right there with the Pirates, but his home run rate is just through the roof. So that's the only reason why you take a chance on him, because you're guaranteed some runs or support in some way, shape, or form. And then, of course, I heard a ludicrous rumor. Now, I did say to one of my friends about this, but I knew this was never going to be a thing. But I did see a report that someone threw out. I mean, it's not true. There's no actual talks about it, but a guy online put up an article about the Pirates saying they should try to go after Nolan Arenado. And it's like, dude, the guy's getting like $30 million for the 2026. And yeah, there's no way in hell that the Pittsburgh Pirates are going to take that contract. No way. Half the payroll for one guy? That's never going to happen. Not in Pittsburgh. So I would love nothing more for a talent like that to come into here. But again, you're asking players to accept basically the bottom tier of offers and to be happy about it, or like say, just take this, like thinking that, oh, gee, all we got to do is take it and we'll be fine. I think that these guys have a little more intelligence. Their agents probably tell them that too. They should. If not, they need to get better agents. Again, there is so much potential in Pittsburgh because of that pitching staff. All we're missing is the offense. All we're missing is that offense. But again, we're asking these players that have much better options, and I'm sure they get better offers elsewhere. And again, this is always about this organization. It never, ever is about anything else, guys. I just love nothing more than to come on here and constantly, at some point in my videos about the Pirates, just always circling back to that organization and why they won't spend money and why they don't want to be competitive. It's always the talking point at some point in the video. I'm sorry that I sound like a broken record with it, but this is all they give us. They do not want anyone to talk about them. They don't want anything to be improved. I guess it's just, they know that being talked about in this way, I guess, is whatever. That's how they want it. I don't know what else to say. The whole premise of a rebuild or a team that is struggling is to, at some point, it will change, and it never does. Like, we always have a handful of players that have no business being on the team, but we did draft them and they are in the system. Like, I'm sure that a guy like Connor Griffin would flourish and be already in the majors probably by next year, but they're talking about giving him a shot. And that should be the case because, again, we're talking about going into a lockout in 2027. You have 1 year before this lockout happens to do something. And yeah, it'd be nice if you had an all-in attitude. And $110 million is not like still embarrassing, but it should even be like 125. I think if you said like we were going to do $125 million and it would happen, then I'd say, all right, that would actually be an improvement. That actually would be something that you could try to build off of. Honestly, there's not a whole lot of teams that can say that $125 million can at least get you a playoff team. That's a decent amount of money. Anything under $100 million, I think now in today's standards, is a joke. So it's like, if you're under that, that's terrible. But still, 110 would be a much bigger number than what they've had in the past. But I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen any players confirm. Like, yeah, we're talking about names we should go and get. But they aren't on the team yet. That's not a confirmation. Until I see the names start to show up, that's when I'll get excited about this team. That is when I think, finally, you're actually taking the advice of the fans, trying to do something for the city. Because, again, we're right now struggling with the football team and the hockey team. And baseball, it's like, well, we're coming up soon. And they're still is nothing better than what it was 3 months ago. It's just, there's just got to be something better, guys. There just does. So I guess that's really all I have to say about that. So going into the 7th inning stretch, I mean, what more can be said about, well, I mean, with Paul Skeens winning the Cy Young and him getting that bonus, I mean, that is a surprising thing. I was very happy to see the bonus that the Pirates gave him on top of the bonus he gets from the MLB itself. So it's nice that there are some guys who are actually getting recognition for the things they do, and the Pirates do at least acknowledge it. So they're not completely heartless. It's not like, they don't have to worry about completely paying him or anything, or making him feel like he's going to get a lot more money or something like that. I know that with the Jared Jones situation, he'll be back in May. And by that time, is it going to matter if the season, doesn't start going in the direction of like what they're saying? Like they're going to up the payroll and they're going to get these players. Like I need to see at least 3 bats come in, at least 3 names to replace like all the holes that are in this field, primarily probably in third base, somewhere in the outfield. And if Kutch isn't returning, then DH. So you're looking at least 3 positions that you need to fill in before this season starts, that I can think that they're going to do anything for this pitching rotation. Because again, you have Paul Skeens, you have Jared Jones by May or June, and these talks are still happening for Keller to get traded. So if you trade Keller, I don't know how I could say, well, you're trying to take your season seriously. If you do that, at least if you trade him and you get something in return, like an actual bat that we can use, instead of like just doing all the trades and free agency, that'd be one thing I would be respected for you doing that. I think it'd be a respectful trade-off if you were to trade Keller for something that actually will help you in the offseason and going into the season. But Ben Sherrington, as GM, has shown for the last, 5-6 years he's been here. I mean, he makes one good deal out of like about 100. I mean, it's just, there's only so many guys that have come through that have actually made an impact on the bats side. I mean, pitching-wise, he did fine, but the bats have just never really shown up, and they have never really put up any big numbers. And that's, again, if you can't put up runs, then you're not going to win games. And that's what they do. They don't win games and they don't produce runs. So it's a big question in terms of what you're expecting the direction to go, because again, it's all about pitching, what they've got going for them. And if they can find some bats, that'd be great. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. I'm still under the weather. I'm trying my darndest to get over it, but until next time, guys, which next time I should be 100%. I've had this for too long and I'm getting rid of it. And so I hope you've enjoyed the episode, guys, and I hope you enjoy your week. And until next time I see you guys,